James.
Good morning, good morning.
Good afternoon.
Oh, it always gets me. Some people on here are still in the morning.
Are you a morning person?
I am a morning person.
Really?
But I'm also a night owl. Does that count?
So you don't sleep?
I don't.
Are you a vampire?
I might be.
Oh, wow. I need to get out of here.
Yeah, you might want to get out of here.
Hey, everyone.
Hello, and welcome to our very first 2025 Invo Insider. We are so excited for you to be back with us. We have got a lot going on, and we are going to have an absolute blast. So for those of you that may not recognize me, I've changed.
You changed a lot.
My name is James Dennis. To my right, the lovely Hope Solomon. We are so excited for you to be here. We have a lot in store for you today. So without further ado, Hope, you want to walk us through what our agenda looks like?
Absolutely. So obviously, thank you so much for being here. We are going to be hearing from Jake Martin, our president and COO. Then we'll be jumping into an interview with Kinetic Design and Development. Of course, you'll see a live demo from James and I. And we're having Kahoots throughout this event, which one of you will then end and walk away with a Yeti cooler.
Wait.
A Yeti cooler, James.
A Yeti
yes.
Cooler.
Yes.
And how do they win that Yeti cooler?
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. Yes. So for those of you that have never been with us or are new to Kahoots, you can absolutely there's an app for that, or there's a website. So make sure you go out and look up Kahoot on your app store, or go to www.kahoot.it. I've been told that the app is a little faster, but if you don't want to download an app, that's fine too. Nobody minds letting you lose. Yeah. So by all means, go out, download the app. There are 3 rules to any trivia-like question game type thing. You have to be fast,
of course.
You have to be correct,
yes,
and you ultimately have to be better than the next person or the person next to you.
So you gotta have fun too.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
yes.
Let's have fun.
Thumbs up for fun.
Let's have fun. Let's have a blast. We are gonna have so much fun. So without further ado, I think we're gonna send this over to Jake. But have you seen him today?
No, I didn't.
I saw him outside, but
did you?
I don't. Yeah.
Did you let him in?
No. Was I supposed to?
James.
No. You don't think he's still out there, do you? I don't know. Let's figure it out. Well, we're going to send it over to Jake, our fearless leader. So go ahead.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first Insider of 2025. But you already know that because James and Hope have already got us started on the right foot, as always. But they have kicked me out of the building for whatever reason on what possibly is one of the grossest days that we've had in the Ozarks yet this year. But we thought we would share it with you since you took the time to join us. So here we are. But hey, what a wonderful start to the year it's been. First, I just want to start with a massive shout out to the team at Invo Solutions. Our development team has already been grinding hard through January to bring you the latest in innovation, and we can't wait to bring that to you. So this year is going to be about rolling a lot of those things out, and that's what the Insider is for. And we are thankful that you are here because this is the platform for sharing new information. In addition to that, it's the place to share your successes and your innovation. And that's a lot about what we do on the Insider, is share your success stories. We see them and we continue to hear about them, and we're going to highlight them throughout the year as well. So thank you for your successes. Thank you for using Invo to innovate in your strategy, and we're excited to see everything that you guys are doing this year. So let's talk about this year. Let's talk about 2025. For us, it's all about innovation, customer experience, employee experience, as well as focusing on that stronghold of security. So shout out to Brent, our head of security, for what he's doing in that side of the house. But we're looking at innovation that allows us to push the boundaries of what this platform has been for all of you for many years. Maybe some of you for the first time as you're onboarding right now with our implementation team. It's about equipping you with tools and resources to be successful. And for this year, our developmental goals specifically are about functionality and integrations. And we'll talk a lot more about that throughout the upcoming months. But functionality for us is rounding off those hard edges of our platform, increasing stability, bringing functionality based on your feedback and input, as well as the long growing list of innovations and integrations. And so innovations through integrations, if you will. And we're excited about what that roadmap looks like for us and honestly what it looks like for you. But this year of 2025 is about also jumping off to the next 3 to 5 years of project development and product innovation. So as we bring these things to market, it is about intentionality to bring new functionality and evolution of our platform the next 3 to 5 years. And I think we're going to see significant growth in those areas over the next year and in the upcoming years as well. So let's talk about today specifically why you are here. So in addition to products and innovation, for us, it's about equipping you with resources so that you can continue to be successful through your strategic innovation. And for us today, it's about connecting you with a power player. A little hint, I might be wearing their logo on my head. So today, you're gonna get a chance to meet Kinetic Design and Development. In fact, 2 of their co-founders are here with us today, Griffin and Abby, and they're gonna share the story of their company. They're gonna share the story of what it's like to have a best-in-class organization partner with a best-in-class collaboration platform with Invo to equip your branch of the future. How does innovation play a role in that? How does technology play a role in that? And how do we marry those things together? You're gonna really enjoy getting a chance to hear from them here shortly. So if you're an existing partner, thanks for being here. If you're just getting to know us, thanks for sharing your time. And if you're here navigating the future of banking, we're here to help collaborate with you. So thank you for being a part of that journey. Now, until next time, keep innovating, keep pushing forward the boundaries of innovation, and let's make 2025 the best year yet. I don't know, listen, I'm getting cold, and I know Ryan is too because he's holding the camera, so let's get back inside and let's send it inside and downstairs to Cozy Studio A with James and Hope.
Do you think we should let him in?
Probably.
Probably.
It's a little cold outside.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he could build a snowman.
He could build a no. There's none of
Do
snow.
you want to build a snowman?
Kind of icy, slushy,
Slushy, all of the above.
Yeah, all of the above. It's kind of
Yeah.
nasty. I don't know if you
Yeah,
could build a
for
snowman.
sure. Yeah,
Instead, let's do a Kahoot.
I agree.
Let's
I think
do a
we
Kahoot.
should do a Kahoot.
Absolutely. So, for those of you that weren't listening, make sure that you bring up Kahoot. We are going to have a blast. As you can see on the screen, if you go to www.kahoot.it or bring up your Kahoot app, there is a game pin at the top of the screen. So you can either scan that QR code or put in that pin, and we are going to have an absolute blast. So play along with us, and we are going to have a good time. So
It'll be a great time.
Look at all these names.
All the people coming
names.
in, joining.
The Lizaldi. I know exactly who that is.
I know a lot of these people.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
great.
Let's have a blast. Yes, make sure you are getting your name in there.
Yes.
This is absolutely how you are going to take home a Yeti cooler with us. So make sure that you get in, make sure that you get your name in there, and play along with us.
Best friend.
What?
Sunshine.
What are we gonna? What's this first part of our Kahoot about?
Well, we can't tell them, James.
Oh, you
They
can't.
might look up stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
All right.
we can't share. Although
can't
it might
share?
be something about the 14th or something. I don't know.
The 14th. What's on the 14th?
Well,
Is there something I should know about?
probably should. How long have you been married?
Almost 20 years.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
That's impressive.
I
That's
actually
great.
won an award for being the longest married couple in a group, which was actually kind of scary.
That's
So,
amazing.
Yeah.
See
Go Irish.
I
Look
also
at
see
this.
Tom Brady goats. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't.
Especially after losing, that really hurt.
Losing what? What did
It's
you
okay.
lose?
We don't need to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're gonna give you what? 30 more
30
seconds?
seconds. 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
And then we are going to get this
And then
party
we're
started.
going to, yes, absolutely. And remember, you have to be fast, but you have to be correct at the same time.
Yes. And then just push the people down around you and
All right.
make sure you get your answer.
Absolutely. Give us a countdown, James.
All right, we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll
Start
it.
that. Oh my goodness, I think I saw someone get in at the very last second. Last second. That was
awesome.
amazing.
All
Okay, here we go. First question.
What is this all about?
This is all about Valentine's Day. According to the U.S. Census, which two states are home to the most chocolate makers? Is it Idaho, Missouri, California and Pennsylvania, Nebraska and Texas, or Hawaii and Florida?
I'm gonna wish and hope that it's Hawaii and Florida.
Why?
Because those just sound like beautiful places.
They are beautiful places.
And
I've never
so,
been to Hawaii.
Neither have I.
A goal of mine
but
is to go
It's
one
gonna
day.
change.
Yes, oh my goodness, people got it right. I did not know this,
I
but
didn't.
yes, California and Pennsylvania.
They make the most chocolate.
Yes, I guess so. Hey, look, you're winning.
Hershey's. Oh, geez. You're welcome. You're
I
welcome.
love it. I love it. Okay, next question. Here we go. Question number 2. How many heart candies come in a single box of sweethearts?
1 million.
1 million.
1 million.
24, 12, 36, or 48?
All depends on how big the box is, doesn't it?
I guess, but I don't know. I looked this up and this was the universal answer,
Okay.
so
All right.
I went
Fair
with
enough.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So if you're Googling it, Google faster.
Here you
So,
go. It's 36 and 14 people got that
wow.
correct.
Nice job.
Great job. Great
Nice job.
job.
Ha-ha, I'm
James,
still winning.
Keeping the top.
Yes.
And remember, you
I
can't
must stash
win.
you a question.
I must.
Oh, sorry.
We must move on to the
Yes,
next
let's,
question.
please.
Which holiday sees more floral purchases, Valentine's Day or Mother's Day?
Oh.
Which one?
I know what it should be, but I don't.
Really?
know.
Which
Yeah.
one do you think it should be?
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Well, I gotta tell you, it's not.
What?
It's Valentine's Day. We need to get
Wow.
more flowers for our mothers, you
Apparently.
guys. All right, let's see that leaderboard.
Oh,
Allie,
I got
now
it
in
wrong.
first place. You got it wrong.
I got it
You
wrong.
got it wrong. All right, now remember, you need to keep those browsers up as well as your app because we will be returning to our Kahoot later.
Yes.
But what
yes.
are we?
Wait, don't you have some place to be?
Move.
Yeah. So while I give Hope just a second, we're actually going to get ready for our interview. So without further ado, I hope she's ready. Take it away, Hope.
Thank you, James, so much for that introduction. And thank you, Insiders, for joining us for the first Insider of the year. We are super excited, especially for our guests today. So we have Abby and Griffin Bobbitt from Kinetic Design and Development. And so they're a partner of Invo's. We're excited to be talking with them today, but they're actually a local firm here in Springfield. And they match what Invo does. Super innovative, working with FIs within their branches to really collaborate on bringing a better experience for their customers. And so I'm gonna actually toss it over to Abby and Griffin. Thank you both so much for being here. Really appreciate it. So if you wouldn't mind just telling us a little bit about yourselves and maybe what got you into this space.
Yeah, so Kinetic Design Development, we're roughly a 2-year-old company, so not super old in that, but we do have a ton of industry experience in the architecture, design, and development realms through all of us. So there's 3 partners, Adam Crayer, myself, and Abby. So we started in 2022 and just have been super blessed with a ton of great relationships and clients that have continued to flow in through natural ways of business. And so it's been really cool and exciting. My background's actually in real estate, so I bring kind of the development aspect of things. And then Abby is kind of the architecture side and Adam as well. So we're kind of this perfect blend, we feel like, of the marriage between real estate and architecture.
Yeah. So my background is architecture. I also did hospitality management, so I have that hospitality mindset. But I'm working a lot on the operations side, working with clients, that kind of thing through Kinetic. But we really wanted to start Kinetic for more work-life balance. The architecture, construction industry is really well known for overworking, burnout, a lot of stress, things like that, deadline driven, and we had our first baby and we thought, you know what, we want more time for our family. We want to be able to practice architecture differently. So more innovatively in the practices and also the way we structure, the way we're doing it. So we're a 4-day work week. It's really awesome. We love that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's awesome.
a lot of people were skeptical at first, I think, because that is hard to do in architecture, but we've sustained it so far, and I think our employees are really happy with the setup and just the ability to have flexibility.
Right.
So Fridays are like our flex day. So they get to, if they have to miss during the week, they can make up that time, flex those hours to Friday.
I love it. So do you all specialize in a specific area? Expand on that if you don't mind.
So we are set up in sort of two different studios. One of them is our flex team. Those are more one-off type projects, local typically. It's what you would think of with typical architecture. It could be a standalone bank. It could be a new office building, a new dental clinic, things like that. And then when we have our corporate studio. So those are our more like relationship driven in the fact that we're doing a lot of volume with that client. So there are people like Bass Pro, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Seven Brew,
Dollar General, and then GMR is an ambulance and helicopter provider that we work with across the country. So that's been the other really fun and exciting part, is getting to work coast to coast. So right now we're in 45 states.
Working towards 50.
Wow.
Yeah, trying to get into the the last few states that are administratively hurdles, but working through it as we always do. We have an amazing admin team that supports that. But getting to work coast to coast on projects around that, and so being a small Midwest firm as we started, and getting to do that has been really exciting and fun.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So that's kind of how we have Invo set up, in that it's, you guys are a partner with us through the financial institutions we're working with, but you are our corporate client basically, in that we set up a team specifically for financial institutions, and those people are great at doing that kind of work.
Yeah, it allows us to, again, have that knowledge base in that specific. So we are very segmented in that. We're not a firm that does only that. And so that's what allows us the flexibility to have multiple project types, but setting up that team that knows FI and knows exactly, the bank of the future, as we've talked a lot about over the last couple of years, and is continually learning in that and going to trade shows and figuring out what the next latest, greatest thing, but also interacting with the new clients, the old clients, and figuring out what's working for them and what's not, allows us to have that success in those teams.
Yeah, definitely. What is important when it comes to starting the design process of a new facility?
Starting early. Most people don't start as early as they should. But it takes time, to be able to truly have a successful design process. It just takes that time of meeting together, collaborating, understanding the unique needs, because every client's different. Even though they're all financial institutions, it's still, everybody has different markets and different customer bases, different ways that they like to flow through the bank and the way that they're using the technology. Everybody is unique in that. So we like to make sure we spend enough time up front really digging deep into that, visiting their existing branches, understanding what's working, what's not working, taking the time to do that feasibility with them before we even really jump into the new design. So we're a lot more successful, I feel, when we get to that stage, because we've done all that due diligence before.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think part of that is, again, how we've structured teams a little bit, and some of the services that we offer that a normal traditional architecture firm does not. And so that's a team structure that has an architecture expert with production staff that helps with those efforts, but also a project expert. And that's somebody that may not have specific architecture experience. Sometimes they do, but it's someone that's really going to drive the project from the day one phone call all the way through the end. So typically what an architecture firm says is we need more time, is because they need more time on the back end to kind of fix the problems, get the permits, things like that. Allowing this PM to step in early and do that feasibility and have those conversations up front allows our time to be spent in the design and allow more effort to be put there and better understand exactly what the client needs. A lot of these, financial institutions have been through this step before. We don't meet a whole lot of financial institutions that this is their first branch.
Right.
Someone's always got something to start with. And so they've got the trauma of what happened to them last time. And so we're able to kind of take that on its head and say, well, we're going to slow down in the points where it matters, which is design. It's the programming discussions and what offices do you really need? What do you want the experience to be for your client? Whether that's, in an individual office, if that's in a lobby, if that's in a break room or a shared space with another business, it's allowing us the time to research that with them and better understand their own demographics and market, rather than having to just blow through it all in design and then just go, well, we're still going to have to wait for permitting on the back end. The other part of that and the structure that we've set up is how we do buildings with contractors. We prefer to bring contractors in as soon as possible so that they can start preliminary pricing as soon as we have a set that's good enough. Is it going to be perfect? Absolutely not. But it's close enough that we know that this project is still feasible for that institution. So many times we see clients across all industries, we get to the end of drawings and we send it out to a hard bid to 3, 4, 5 contractors, and all 5 bids come back with a place that isn't feasible anymore.
Yeah.
And it leaves a bad taste in their mouth, in our mouth, and how the project goes. So allowing this to really be hey, here's what we know we want, and here's enough of a set that we can get preliminary pricing, and we can make changes from there, allows so much of a more successful project.
Lots more collaboration.
Yeah.
Is the goal.
It sounds like it. It sounds like there's a lot more collaboration involved than maybe what some maybe used to.
Yeah.
Which is really encouraging. How does this differ when considering remodeling on an existing facility, an existing branch?
Yeah, so I mean, there's still a ton of that due diligence that we would want to do before we did a new build as well. There's a lot more investigation that happens because it's an existing facility. Sometimes they built it, sometimes they didn't. They may have moved into it. And just figuring out what's going to work as far as remodeling it or adding on to it. Is the site going to allow for that? Is the parking counts there? There's a lot of that just investigation period of maybe we need to actually get in and do some 3D scanning to figure out what are all the issues that might be in there. Looking at the existing mechanical systems and electrical, all of that may not be good enough to support adding on.
Right.
All those things we have to look for in the beginning, and that takes that time.
Takes the time.
If I can give any advice, it's just start earlier than you think you need to.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense.
I think a lot of people get scared by saying, oh, if I call in an architecture firm too early, then I'm really going to have to pay for that. And they're going to have to be involved in conversations that maybe we can hash out on our own. And so that's what I always encourage people is, hey, let us have a seat at the table when those discussions are happening, and you'll be amazed at the efficiencies of the project that you're able to have by allowing us to be involved in those early conversations instead of just saying, hey, we've talked about this with our board, we've talked about this with our leadership, this is what we want.
Yeah.
And then we come in and we totally disrupt that because we say, well, what if you've looked at this?
Have you thought about this?
Have you thought about this? This is what we're seeing coming down the road.
Yeah.
And so if we're able to have that seat at the very beginning, it really doesn't end up costing, and a lot of times we'll save money.
Right. And it, again, kind of going back to the collaboration, you all are the experts. So, going into it, like you said, they may not realize something that they may want, and you guys would have, that option. So it really does sound like the partnership is really important to you all.
Yes,
absolutely.
For sure.
Okay, so what are your design perspectives and opinions of FI branches today? And how do you think that has changed in the past few years?
Oh, definitely multifaceted question.
Yeah.
I would say one of the big things is finding a good middle ground between modernizing but staying timeless. So we see this over and over again in that an FI comes in and they want to modernize, but we don't want to go too far that it becomes cold, uninviting, too stark,
like a
for
doctor's
their customer
office.
base. Yeah, they people still want to come in and feel warm and invited and feel comfortable coming in, especially if they're not used to the technology aspects. So if you can combine those technology features, the digital integration with still a very warm and inviting atmosphere, then you're going to have a really great branch design. So that's one part. The other part is flexibility.
I think flexibility is a huge part of it. I think everyone that's sitting here listening to this is someone that's kind of embracing digital already.
Yeah.
It's either someone that has implemented or is getting ready to make that implementation. And so it's how do we use the existing space that we have, and then how do we turn that into new space? And so flexibility in what that allows you to do is, I think, the biggest asset that digitizing FIs is going to allow. And so just embracing that, and again, staying in that We need to be cool and fun and young without being cold and stark and trendy. We want to be this timeless design. And so I think that's something that we really specialize in, but also making sure that it stays true to who you are. You know, just because you're going into a digital era doesn't mean that you have to completely rebrand and become this new modern science FI. Like, you can still be who you are and just implement new strategies, new technologies, and allow that to take you into the next century.
Right. And kind of with that, going into the next question, you know, with Invo and Kinetic as being partners, how do you think the branch will evolve over the next few years with new technology like you were talking about, Griffin? How do you think that will change and shift?
I've said it time and time again. Similar questions have always been posed. Branches aren't going anywhere.
Right.
Newsflash, you know, put it in the header there. Branches aren't going anywhere. You know, FIs, ourselves, brick and mortar is still here, and it's still an asset to us. I mean, real estate, just as a real estate guy, like, it's our biggest asset. And so they're still here. It's just how we look at them and how we use them, how we get people in the doors is going to change. You know, if I think about, you know, my own personal life, the times that I'm in a financial institution look a lot different than they did 5 years ago. It's the what do I need to be there for? You know, so much of that has been digitized. So much of that can be done on a laptop, an iPad, or even my phone. And so it's, why do I need to go in? And then I think it can shift in the next couple of years from a why do I need to why do I want to? It's a, hey, well, there's a really cool coffee shop that's in this FI, and I want that cup of coffee because I'm a coffee snob, and I want the cool cup of coffee across town. And so but I'm going to be there. And so, well, while I'm there, I might as well deposit this check, or while I'm there, I might as well sign docs because it's so easy and accessible for me. It's the making you want to come in a door and become a destination again that FIs really need to embrace.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And I mean, I love the coffee shopping.
Absolutely.
I'm a coffee snob too. So no, I think that's so true. And the why, what you said, like, why would your customers want to come into the branch? I think that's so important to evaluate when looking at new branches or redesigning branches for that. So with that, what are the most critical factors when designing an FI branch?
I'm going to go back to, it really depends on the person, the client, the brand. So those are the first things we ask is, who are you? What's your mission? What's your purpose? Why did you get into business? You know, asking those type of questions is going to help lead us to getting them the best design possible.
Knowing who you are, and again, staying true to that, and then knowing who your customers are. Staying true to them. Just because you do a redesign, just because you do a rebrand is not going to change your customer base overnight. So it's, yes, we want new customers in the door. Everyone does. Everyone wants those next deposits and those next loans. But you can't completely alienate who you've got already. And everyone's got someone. Everyone's got a target demographic, whether they've got it now or they want to have it in the future. And so staying true to both of those bases, but staying true to who you are and staying in your lane and what you're good at, and allowing that to set your program, your feel, and your design.
Okay, so how do you think the evolution of technology is impacting the branches today?
Well, technology is like the speed of lightning at this point. It happens all the time, ever changing every day. So I think it's up to us as FI designers to make sure that we're staying on top of those trends and figuring out how that is impacting design as we go forward. So one of those aspects, obviously, we've talked about it, is flexibility, making sure that if technology that you've got today changes tomorrow, how can we cost effectively change the footprint to be able to make that happen and not have to rebuild the whole facility to do it. So that's one part. And then I would say cost too.
I think traditionally FIs have really designed around a very standard footprint and how they lay things out. You know, I could sit here and draw it. It's a lobby, it's 3 offices, it's a teller line, it's back of house and a break room. Like, it's 90% of them. And so I think as in the last 5 years or so, we've really seen a shift in that mindset. And I think technology has been a big driver for that. And it's allowed so many projects that we saw get put on hold because of rising real estate and construction costs, or even killed projects. It's allowed those to come back to feasibility because you can have those flexible workspaces again. It's flexibility in lobby design. It's flexibility in break room, whether that's shared with something else. But most of what we're seeing is the flexibility in the office and the workspace. So I think technology is really pushing us that direction. And I think it's something that we're constantly, being conscious of is what works today may not work in a year. And so how do we create those flexible spaces that if someone needs to pull back on this or go a totally different direction with the technology that is continuing to roll out? I know you guys are always creating and making amazing new things. And so, trying to keep up with that and just say, hey, we don't want to pigeonhole anyone and force them into this if this may be something that changes in 18 months to 5 years.
Yeah. And because we've been able to keep the footprint smaller, we've been able to add other spaces that are typically not in banks.
Yeah.
Things that are more culture related or mental health related, things like that. We have a client that we added a Zen Den, which is basically just a small focus room.
Yes, I love
where
that.
they can get away from whatever and just unplug for a little bit, decompress, that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
And it's made their culture better.
Yes.
So
definitely. I think that would impact culture tremendously. And I love that because of technology, you're able to do that. You're able to create those spaces through that. And I think that's super impactful. So kind of to go along with that and with tech, so obviously bringing in video banking, how do you think video banking and that technology impacts the interior design of a banking facility?
Sure. I mean, that goes a little bit with the whole modernizing and timeless discussion, because again, you want to have finishes that are very warm and inviting and welcoming. So thinking through, what are your brand colors? How do we incorporate that in so that when you come into a video banking room, you don't feel like you're just having to go sit in front of a TV. It could be awkward. You've never done it before. But maybe there are certain types of furniture pieces. It's specific lighting that makes you feel comfortable. Maybe it's like some kids activities that are interactive in the room so that if you have to bring your kid in with you, it's not a big deal. They have some place to sit, some place to go.
Love that.
Those are all things we're thinking of that are interior design related. It's lighting, it's furniture, it's finishes that all play into that branding experience that you feel like you're coming in to speak with someone, even though they're across the screen.
I think an aspect that a lot of people miss in that, and it's something that we even have learned and evolved in our kind of thought process, is not only what's on the outside of the screen, but what's on the inside of the screen. And it's working with you guys to make sure that the backdrop even and the surrounding of your employee is something that's warm and inviting, but also cohesive.
So true.
You don't want something that's completely stark different, because then you do have this very segmented screen and it doesn't flow at all. But if you can have this cohesive and very warm background that's with them, an environment that really plays all together, you allow that to really feel seamless. And then again, going back to flexibility, it allows that room to, in the off chance that someone's in the branch, or somebody's on a rotation, which is what we see a lot of, is Monday, Tuesday, it's a video office. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because you guys work Fridays, we don't. It's an in-person office as someone floats around to different branches, whether they're auto loans or whether they're mortgage industry or something like that. It's kind of that flexibility space. So aligning that millwork to be a full desk and be a flexible space that works with everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And just kind of going back a little bit to what Abby had talked about, just how personable you guys are with your clients, of making sure that, the kiddos have something to play with in the back office, or you're aligning to their brand. I mean, I think that's so huge when designing a branch, because like you mentioned, they know their customers best. And so collaborating with them to figure out what offices may fit for their demographic is so huge to ensure that their customers feel comfortable coming into a kiosk. So I think that's huge that you guys are working towards that.
It supports the mission. People are our purpose. And so again, that's not only our clients, but that's your clients as well. And so that's, trying to have that holistic approach, whether it's the Zen Den that allows your employees, mental health to be greater so that they can have that better efficiency when they are on, or whether that is, the family orientation of a room specific for that client.
Kind of going on to the next question, what design and layout considerations must be made when video banking strategies are involved in the process?
I mean, definitely have to have the video banking rooms. Those are essential. And you have to think through, what is the customer's experience when they come in? Do they come and talk to maybe a lobby concierge? Or is there a kiosk? Some way that they can immediately be greeted. Whatever that looks like. Before then going into whatever video banking room. So you have to think about the flow. That's super important, because the last thing you want is someone coming into the bank and being like, okay,
where do I go?
What do I do?
Where do I
go? Who do I talk to? I feel awkward. bored.
Right,
I'll just sit
right.
here.
Yeah.
Thing. It's one of those you
So
want
important.
that hospitality.
Exactly.
And that's I guess why I love this field is because it is very much hospitality based.
Right.
What does your customer do? Do they come in and get greeted and then
Right.
go to the coffee bar?
Yep.
Do they go to the fancy espresso machine
Yes.
or the popcorn counter,
Yes.
whatever, when they come in? Or do they get directed to the teller line?
Yes.
That kind of thing. So having the flow figured out, that initial greeting when first coming in is super important, directed to whichever video banking room they're going to be in, making sure that we have the support staff offices there. The back of house flow is really important. The break room support for those people. Am I missing anything?
I think flow and programming, I think you hit
Yeah.
it. That's the most important thing is, again, how does someone feel when they walk into your space?
Right.
And I think that's where technology kind of has inhibited us because we know how that works and we
Yeah.
know how that has been for the last 100 years,
Mm-hmm.
in FI history. But now because it's a screen, somehow we're trying to view it differently.
Right.
And I really don't think it should. The flow is really the same.
Right.
Traditionally, we've seen a lot of banks and credit unions not have a concierge in the lobby. And so then someone has to yell from an office. Well, that's hard to do from a video screen.
Right.
It might scare people. So it's how do we interact with that without totally having to change the mind shift of what we do.
Yeah, definitely. No, I love that. Kind of going back to specifically you all. So what does a project design, management, and execution look like for Kinetic?
Sure. So I like to answer this question just because I'm really proud of how we've set up our
Absolutely,
teams.
yeah.
So in a traditional firm, you would have a project manager who's an architect and they've grown up through the ranks of leadership. They're managing the project in every aspect. We have decided we want to structure it a little differently. And so we have a team of 2 people managing the project. They work hand in hand. They're on every single email together.
Awesome.
They know exactly what's going on. One of them is the design manager.
Okay.
They focus solely on executing the project. So they're meeting with the client, they're understanding the client's vision, translating that to the team, making sure that it gets executed. And then the project manager, as Griffin kind of alluded to earlier, they're helping out with all of the red tape that comes along with projects.
Yeah.
It's permitting it through the jurisdictions, whatever that looks like. It's the upfront feasibility of, will we have to rezone this land? Will we have to go through public hearings? Like, what does all of that look like?
Right.
What paperwork do we have to submit? What kind of, do we have to send in our plans digitally or in the mail or whatever? They're helping look at budgets. So making sure that we're staying on budget, making sure we're staying on time with our project timeline, things like that.
Right.
Very organized, very detail oriented. They're
Yes.
great at that kind of stuff. So when those 2 work together, it's a powerhouse
Right,
team because typically an architect is not great at both because they don't like to do both.
Right,
They
right.
want to do one or the other. So letting them do that, letting them get to choose which path they want to take and just focus on that
Right.
makes them so much stronger.
Absolutely.
They don't have to change lanes and
Yes.
do random things that don't make sense and bog
Right.
down the project. So we set those people up first, and
Yeah.
those are typically people that we have that are the FI experts.
Okay.
So they've done a lot of financial institution projects before. They're the ones going to the trade shows to figure out what's the latest and greatest
Yes.
in tech and banking and things like that. They're the ones who have had lots of experience working on these types of projects.
Definitely.
And so, yeah, that's how we structure the team for the most part.
Yeah, I would love to say that we were just like super smart and figured it out on our own. And, like day one, we just knew that was how it needed to be. But no, we learned by failure.
Right.
We learned by seeing the emails that weren't getting responded to. We learned by seeing the deadlines not get hit. And so that was early in our career, and we saw that. And that's just kind of architecture as a whole. That's generally how practice is done. You don't learn business in architecture school. You just learn how to be an architect.
Yeah.
And then you get put out into the real world, and you have all of these management things that you have to do in order to be successful in architecture in most firms. And so we learned by failure in that. And so we said, again, people are our purpose. We see people hurting, floundering, not being happy with what they're doing.
Right.
What can we help you with? And that was the resounding feedback we got was, hey, I just need someone to do this, this, and this for me. I'm really good at this and this. And this is the world and the realm that I want to live in. So we just found those people.
Yeah.
There are absolutely skill sets for everything out there. And we found those people. And I feel like we have a really great team of that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they continue to kind of grow each other up. It's definitely a different model. It's not something we see really anywhere else, but it's something that's worked really well for us, for our clients. And I don't think that we could ever go back at this point.
No.
Right. I mean, what an experience to have not one, but two people working with you for your project. I think that that's huge because most people are probably just used to working with one person, right? And hearing that, their emails don't get answered, hard to get a hold of them, but having two people that are specifically for your project, I think that that's huge.
Yep, and we try to make sure they're not out of the office at the same time.
That's a great idea.
Always a buffer.
I love it. Yeah, so as we kind of wrap up our conversation, how can our insiders, our guests, reach out to you and connect with you for next steps?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways. We're very available. I think that we're going to have an email up on the screen for everybody to reach out directly. But if they're Invo customers, reach out to your Invo rep. Definitely, they can connect us. Reach out on LinkedIn, that kind of thing. But we love to just have that conversation up front of just what are your needs? How can we help you? Even if it's just giving some upfront advice on, okay, I've got this space that I think might work. Should we pursue it or should we build new? What are the construction costs looking like? Just to have that conversation. We're happy to do that.
Absolutely. Available anytime. And just love being a part of Invo and a part of you guys' team and being partners with you guys. It's been so amazing. And just looking forward to always meeting new insiders and new guests that you guys have on.
Yeah, definitely. No, we appreciate Kinetic as a partner for sure. You guys are so much fun, share very similar cultures. And so we really appreciate that about you. Anything else you want to share before we close this out?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always.
I was going to say, let's see the socks.
Socks on.
Can we see the socks?
Summit.
Yes,
love that shout out.
Coming to Summit. So.
Yes. Yeah, we appreciate you guys and very thankful for the conversation and again, for the partnership. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to send it back over to James.
Wow. Thank you so much, Griffin and Eb.
Okay.
How did you change clothes so fast?
Talent.
Talent?
Talent.
How?
Magic.
Magic?
Yes.
I don't know even what to say right now. You did great. You guys all did great. Yes, so absolutely. That interview was phenomenal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we just absolutely love our friends at Kinetic. And 100%. So we can't wait for you to hear more from them. So we have put some information in the chat, so make sure you go out and check that out. I think it's time to see if anybody actually listened to you.
Okay.
Do you think anybody listened to you?
I think that's fair. I think we should see if people listen.
I think people should find out. We should find out. So absolutely.
Yes. Okay, so we're going back to our Kahoot.
Absolutely. Back to Kahoot. Here we go.
So make sure you bring up your browser and your app because we're getting this started once again. So you ready? All right, let's do it. Allie, here we go. Okay, it's all about the interview. So the next question is, here we go. Question 1 of this section. How long has Kinetic been around? Has it been 5 years, 4 years, 2 years, or 7 years?
1 million years.
1 million.
1 million. They have been around forever. They are great.
5 ever.
5 ever?
5 ever.
5 ever? 4 ever?
4 ever, 5 ever.
7 ever, or 2 ever?
See what you did there.
I see.
See what you did there.
There you go.
Yes, yep, 2
11
years.
people were paying attention.
Good job, those 11 people.
Nice job.
Moneycraft.
Allie
went back down. But all right, here we go. Here is the next question. What is one of the most important things to do when starting a new branch design?
Oh, I know this one.
Start early.
Buy furniture.
Buy all the furniture first.
Oh.
Start late or start on time. What could it be?
This seems very simple. But
what I would do is...
You like to confuse me, so I'm a little worried about...
Buying all the furniture first would be a lot of fun.
Yes.
A lot of fun.
However,
it is starting early.
Thought you were wrong.
Yes, they did. But it is starting early and best friend.
Best friend.
Best friend is at the top. All right, here we go.
My best friend or your best friend?
How about it's both of our best friends?
Okay.
Okay, people are our purpose is the mission statement of Kinetic. Is that true
Careful.
or false?
She likes to flip-flop these.
True or false? I do sometimes.
Yeah.
You never know. One might
never
be
know.
coming.
Oh my.
Well, one might be coming.
This is why people don't like you. I'm just telling you.
People
right now.
love me.
People. Yeah, I don't know.
People, all the people.
True or false? 26 people.
Good job.
That was
One
true.
person got it wrong.
One person got it
That's
wrong.
okay.
See?
Nothing moved. Wow.
Nothing moved.
Nothing moved. Okay, stick around because we'll be doing this again one more time to see who our winner is going to be.
Really?
Yes, indeed.
All right.
What do we got next, James?
Well, right now, I think we're actually going to do just a little bit of show and tell about everything that you guys talked about.
About the branch.
We are going to talk about the branch, specifically the branch and everything that you can do inside that branch. So, as Kinetic showed us and talked about, it's all about that hospitality. It's all about the flow of things and what ultimately your customers see when they walk into your branch. So, as you heard already, you can do this in lots of different ways. So, and inside of Invo, you can actually come over here to what we call our concierge platform, and you can actually have this running in many, many different ways. So you can either have this running on a tablet, where you can allow your customers to walk in, self-serve themselves, and ultimately check themselves in on that tablet, allow them to put in a little bit of information. You can see a lot of things going on the screen here. You can actually allow them to check themselves in and then determine exactly why they're here to talk or who they're here to talk to, and then we can put them directly into one of those video kiosks. Or you can have our actual concierge, guide, quarterback, whatever you want to call the staff member that actually will check people in. If you'd like a little bit more of that warm handoff, you can have somebody actually meet the customer at the door, get a little bit of information, and be able to see all kinds of things about all kinds of information about what's going on inside those branch locations. So here at Invo HQ, we've got a lot going on. We've got, where did these names come from?
Bo Darling.
Cupid Valentine, and apparently Will is in an in-person meeting with Dr. Love.
Dr. Love.
So I'm gonna just move on. So we've got people in the lobby, we've got scheduled appointments. You can see all of this information directly from the concierge. So you can actually, Bo has been waiting patiently out here, so we can actually move him directly into a kiosk, or we can actually assign him to an in-person interaction with any of our friends that are available and logged in. So you can do any of that. On top of that, if you don't have the staff or you don't want to utilize the staff to actually allow your customers to be checked in, a customer can jump directly into our kiosks, and they can actually come out here and they can go directly into our video kiosk and see all kinds of different ways that you can actually allow the customer to go directly to the department. And so you can see all these buttons, look at the beautiful background. You can actually customize all of this.
Is that you, James?
That is me. There's a lot of beautiful people on the back of that screen.
There are.
So yeah, how many are on there?
Indeed.
So we've got all kinds of options here on the screen, so you can literally, the customer can walk into that kiosk, push any one of these buttons, and be directed to an employee that will actually ultimately be able to help them. So we can still gather just a little bit of information about the customer. So the first name, last name, email address, phone number. And as soon as they hit create call, then they're going to be presented with a call directly to that department. So while the customer is waiting, they're actually going to be able to see advertisements. The beauty of our kiosk system is nobody has to just sit in silence. You can actually come over here and you can see advertisements based on the call queue or the language or the channel that ultimately they're coming in on. So you can actually create advertising campaigns directly to the kiosk or the channel. You can do it by the language. You can even do it by the I already said language. So
Language, cue.
cue, language, or the channel. So you can use all kinds of things in here. So videos, music, images, all of those are available. So if you really want to get a specific message across to that specific cue, you can be able to do that all right there in that kiosk. So we're really excited about everything that's going on in the branch, in those video kiosks.
Yeah.
And now let's see if anybody listened to me.
Let's see if anybody listened.
I don't know. We're going to find out.
We're going
So
to our next Kahoot.
we are going to go
everyone.
directly
We are
to our
going
next
directly
Kahoot.
to our next Kahoot, and this is the last section.
The last section.
Yes. So
All right.
here we go. Make sure you have those browsers up, apps open. First question of the demo. Here we go. Question number 1.
Let's see.
True or false? Concierge can be utilized as a self-service feature on a tablet.
I don't know.
True or false?
The question is, did you change the colors on us?
Did I? No.
Not in this one.
Not on this
Not
one.
on this one. Never put it past her though, because she's sneaky like that.
Sneaky like that.
Very sneaky.
Got to make sure you guys are
Paying
keeping on your
attention.
toes.
Paying attention.
That's right.
So,
Paying attention. All right. Yes, it is true. Great job to the 22 people that got
22
that
people
correct.
got it right.
Best
Nice
friend
job.
is still on top, so great job.
Way to go.
Keep it in first place. All right, here we go. Second question. How many people were on the stage in our kiosk background picture?
Oh.
Was that 3, 10, 77?
77.
Wow, or 5?
That was a nice picture.
That was a nice picture.
Yeah, that was at
Are
the
you just
summit.
saying that because you're in it?
No, well, no, but
Are you sure?
I was gonna say I had lots of friends in that picture. So, yeah.
True, very true. All friends.
Yes, all friends.
Yes, 5 people in that photo.
Look, see, you didn't think they'd recognize
5
that.
best friends. They
5
did great.
Best friends.
Speaking of best friends,
Yeah, heck yeah.
all right, this is the last question, and if you saw, second and first place were very close. Can Invo kiosk ads include both videos and music?
Ooh.
No or yes?
You sneaky.
Oh my goodness!
sneaky,
On the last
sneaky.
question, how could I?
How could you do it?
I'm so sorry.
not surprised.
I hope I didn't
Yep.
sneak up on any of you guys.
Yep. I
Secretly
am-
maybe hoping so.
I was gonna say, yeah. People are gonna hate you.
I know.
one of
So
these days.
sorry. Yes. Hey, look. I only got 4 people.
You only got
so
4.
only 4. Okay. Podium.
Here we
Let's see
go.
who got third. James Mustache.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness.
Yep,
In second, we have
congratulations.
Moneycraft, and in first, we have.
Dun-dun-dun. Best friend.
friend. Woo!
Congratulations. Oh my God.
All the confetti.
You know, I don't remember you ever doing that.
Ever?
Just kidding.
Oh my
I
goodness.
always do.
We
so
love
yes,
all the confetti here.
all the confetti. Hope has a magic button
Congratulations.
that she just loves to push that magic button
Absolutely.
in terms of the confetti. So
Absolutely.
it's just crazy. Congratulations, best friend. Who is best friend? Do we know
Who is best friend? If you can let us know in the chat, and if you wouldn't mind contacting me as well, then we will ship you your Yeti.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Well, thank you so much for being here. So at the bottom of your screen, you should see a button that says more. We are going to have a lot of resources and a lot of information down in that resource section. So if you have any questions or if you want to follow up on anything that we've talked about while we're here today, make sure you go down there to that resource section. Make sure you hit that. And I think we've got information about our friends at Kinetic.
Absolutely.
Ways to reach out to us, as well as I think we have something coming up called the Summit here in a
The
little while.
Summit?
Yes. So make sure you go out there, check all that information out. Let's see, what's next? Do we have another video coming up? All right, let's see if we can't do that.
Here we go.
All right. All right, there you go.
Still confetti everywhere.
Yeah, you have confetti everywhere, and it's all your
Everywhere.
fault. So
sorry.
Make sure that you go out there to the resources and see the show notes. We are so excited about having the Insider back, and we, as you just saw, we are, I believe our next one is June 18th. So make sure that you are here. Best friend, make sure that you, oh, look. Best friend equals Brooke. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Congratulations,
Congrats, Brooke.
I will make sure that you get that Yeti on its way to you. So that's awesome. I'm really excited for you. So make sure that you are back here on June 18th. We are going to be partying up again. So do we have anything else, Hope?
Just the show notes, I think.
Show notes. Yep. So make sure you see the show notes. Right there. There it is. All right. Make sure you go out there and visit our website, Kinetic. Follow us on LinkedIn. Hope and I love friends, so make sure you follow us too. So,
Absolutely.
And then you can go out there and register for June Insider. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.
Until next time, night night. We'll see you.